Weatherfield is about to make massive history, but in true soap fashion, the happiest day of Carla Connor and Lisa Swain's lives is going to be completely overshadowed by a horrifying tragedy. We finally have our first look at the highly anticipated wedding, but what was supposed to be a beautiful moment is ripped apart by a shocking death just as the fireworks go off. Carla and Lisa's journey to the altar has been a fiery, passionate rollercoaster, but a sudden venue cancellation, a dark secret, and a chilling scream in the night are about to change everything. Before we dive into all the explosive details of this unforgettable ceremony and the devastating aftermath, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to CoronationST Update so you never miss out on the latest Weatherfield gossip, theories, and exclusive spoilers. It is no secret that the Cobbles have had a seemingly cursed track record when it comes to this kind of romance. Long-time viewers will remember the heartbreak of 2011, when Sophie Webster was utterly devastated, left standing alone and jilted at the altar. Then, of course, there was the absolute tragedy of 2019, when Rana Habib lost her life in a tragic structural collapse before she could ever say her vows to Kate. Because of this dark history, fans have been on the edge of their seats, terrified that the writers might snatch away Carla and Lisa's happy ending just as it begins. But against all odds, they are tying the knot next week, though not without a massive dose of classic Weatherfield chaos. Disaster strikes early when their original wedding venue is abruptly cancelled at the absolute last minute. For a moment, it looks like the entire day is ruined. But this is Carla Connor we are talking about. According to actress Vicky Myers, who brilliantly plays Lisa, there is a pivotal moment where Ryan reveals something Carla said to him. Carla confessed that she didn't care about the flashy details or the perfect aesthetic. She just wanted to marry Lisa. Any hour, any venue would do. Hearing that flicks a switch inside Lisa. She realizes they don't need all the massive fuss, which, let's be honest, Carla never really wanted anyway. So, Lisa springs into action and enlists none other than Sally Metcalf. You can only imagine Sally bustling around, barking orders, and rounding up their closest pals to arrange a completely surprise, impromptu wedding reception right in the middle of Underworld. Celebrating their love among the sewing machines might not be traditional, but it is so deeply fitting for Carla. The couple is absolutely elated with these spontaneous plans. The factory is transformed, the drinks are flowing, and it feels like a total triumph. But as they step outside to share a quiet, special moment watching their wedding fireworks light up the night sky, a horrific event is unfolding just out of sight. A piercing, tragic scream echoes through the dark. In a twist of dark irony, the newlyweds brush it off, mistaking the horrific sound for an urban fox, and happily turn their attention back to the colourful explosions in the sky. Little do they know, that scream marks a shocking death that will inevitably send shockwaves right through the community. The juxtaposition of their beautiful, pure happiness against the grim reality of a fatal incident happening just yards away is going to make for some of the most gripping television of the year. To really understand the weight of this wedding, we have to look back at how this incredible dynamic exploded onto our screens. In 2024, Coronation Street fans watched a masterclass in slow-burn chemistry. For weeks, the tension between Carla and the stern, guarded Detective Sergeant Lisa Swain was building to a boiling point. It took a heart-to-heart with her nephew, Ryan Connor, for Carla to finally accept what she was feeling. Ryan urged her to take the leap, setting the stage for an unforgettable night. Following a few drinks at the Rovers, Lisa ended up staying at Carla's flat. The air was thick with unspoken feelings, and as Lisa prepared to leave, Carla finally made her bold move. She stopped the detective in her tracks with a simple, quiet, yet incredibly suggestive word. Don't. Lisa, visibly confused and breathless, asked, "Don't what?" And Carla, holding her gaze, replied, "Don't get dressed." Carla walked over, gently cupped Lisa's face, and pulled her in for a deeply passionate kiss, leading to a highly anticipated, steamy session behind closed doors. When the show returned from the ad break, the internet essentially broke. Carla was standing in the kitchen as Lisa approached her, casually wearing nothing but a robe. The playful, undeniable spark between them intensified as Lisa stood by the bedroom door and cheekily ordered, "Get back in here, you." Carla's slightly bewildered but thrilled reaction, muttering a classic, "Flippin' heck," as she trailed after Lisa, was television gold. Social media erupted instantly. Fans were completely losing their minds. One viewer tweeted that they couldn't cope with seeing the usually strict detective sergeant like this. Another praised the dialogue, calling the kiss, the reassurance, and the touch incredibly beautiful. The timeline was flooded with praise for the pairing, affectionately dubbed Swalla, with viewers celebrating a massive win for representation, thrilled that the two characters got to share such a joyous, intimate connection. Later, nestled comfortably on the sofa, Carla opened up in a surprisingly vulnerable moment, admitting that this was her first real time being with a woman, entirely separate from silly teenage drunken kisses meant to impress boys. It was raw, honest, and cemented their deep emotional bond. However, the bubble of domestic bliss burst almost immediately. Lisa's fiercely protective daughter, Becky, arrived, and her sharp eyes instantly pieced the puzzle together. She recognized the top Lisa was wearing as Carla's. The realization that they had been intimate sent Becky into a total downward spiral of rage. The timing couldn't have been worse. It was the day after the birthday of Becky's late mother, Becky. Furious and deeply hurt, Becky lashed out, aggressively accusing Lisa of disrespecting Becky's memory by jumping into bed with someone new on such a sensitive weekend. Lisa frantically tried to defuse the escalating situation, desperately explaining that they hadn't actually taken that step until the day after the birthday, trying to protect her late partner's memory while defending her new reality. But grief is complicated, and Becky was utterly unconvinced. Carla, ever the peacekeeper in this specific scenario, gently stepped in, trying to bridge the gap. She softly told Becky that while she never knew Becky, she was absolutely certain Becky would want Lisa to find happiness and not spend the rest of her life lonely. Instead of calming down, Becky spat back that Becky was worth far more than Carla ever could be, before storming out in a tempest of teenage angst and grief. That heated, devastating exchange left Lisa staring at the floor, visibly questioning whether she had made a massive mistake in pursuing this new relationship, terrified of shattering her fragile bond with her daughter. It was a rocky road to get from that guilt-ridden morning to standing in the underworld, exchanging rings and promises. They had to battle their own insecurities, family backlash, and the ever-present chaos of their surroundings. But they made it. Carla Connor and Lisa Swain are officially the power couple Weatherfield desperately needed. Yet, as the confetti falls and the fireworks fade, that terrifying scream in the night looms over them, whose tragic end will cast a dark shadow over their honeymoon period. Will Becky's unpredictable behaviour play a part in the unfolding drama, or is there a much more sinister force creeping around the Cobbles while the factory celebrates? The aftermath of this wedding is guaranteed to flip the street upside down. Let me know your wildest theories in the comments below. Who do you think was the victim of the tragedy during the fireworks? If you enjoyed this deep dive into Swalla's epic journey and want to stay ahead of all the upcoming twists, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give this video a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching CoronationST Update, and I will see you in the next video.